pretty messy looking, but that's what I did last night. It was too dark to videotape. But this guy, I didn't anneal it. It has a lot of forming to do, but when I solder it, I'll anneal it then. Make it all soft and pliable. But I basically have flux under there. The underside of this is sanded down and that's all cleaned up. Gotta have the stuff clean for the solder to flow. I might not know what I'm doing, but I do know that. And I do have hammered some scrap pieces and shoved it up under there. And it goes under there quite a ways. And it's all fluxed, ready to go. So when I pulled that down, I'm gonna have to form that corner. But it's all an experiment. Fun. So I'm gonna leave the camera here and go to time lapse, and you guys can get the gist of what I'm doing. And then we're gonna try to form that corner. I'm not sure how to do it, so I'm just gonna do consistently around the edge, leave this hanging up, and paint myself into a corner and go from there. I might have to notch it out. I might be able to hammer it and just fold it over. We'll see how it looks. So here's something I forgot to do. I'm gonna have to run a piece of scrap up under that, like I did here. And this is gonna get tacked down. And just the slightest little drip edge formed along here. So when I get to here, I want that drip edge. Not sure what to do. I might gradual the drip edge out. It's just going to be a little guy, but boy, I'm gonna have to determine exactly where to cut that. I might do that with the little Dremel tool. But I also have under here a couple scrap strips to make up the difference between the metal here going to the wood. Kind of ease that transition, and they'll be hidden underneath there. So I might mark that off and trim this guy right now. This little guy, kind of ease that corner so it's nice and tight. Pretty tight. All right. Okay, so the roof line kind of goes nice and smooth, and it gets to here and does this. So I'm gonna have to pull that where I want it, maybe with the board, and then get that line to cut it. You know, I might actually just do it afterwards. Slip a piece of sheet metal up in there. And then with, not the angle grinder, I use this to cut the metal out here in the wide open air. But, this little guy is kind of time consuming, a little pencil grinder, but Dremel, whatever you want to call it. With these little wafer discs, these work pretty good. So I might do that. Okay. So I think I'm actually gonna finish nailing it here so I can see from down here and kind of pull it Now, the cab end's there, so a lot of this gets folded down and around, and it won't be so whoop. We hope. Well, I'm going to pull it down by hand and see if I can't get that roof line a little more how I like it, and then go from there. I think I'll feel more confident with trimming that. You know, this all gets like a drip edge to make everything consistent all the way around eventually, so I'm going to add that later. All right, I'm going to do that. Well, it isn't so bad. By the time this all folds down, see, this will pull down. That's a better line. Yeah, that's gonna work out good. All right, onward. Well, not the prettiest sight, but like I said, there is gonna get trim, like a drip edge all the way around here. They'll hide all that. My main thing is I wanted this to meet up with the back, so it's nice and uniform. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and solder this top, and so it's nice and rigid, and then I could anneal, soften. When you torch the copper, it gets real soft and malleable. So that piece there, so I could start forming it. I think I'm gonna solder it now, so that could be all annealed. Okay, I didn't hit oak for this one. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna have to solder a dummy in. The reason why I'm soldering this all now, I want this all a rigid unit when I start bending this around. But, well, truth be known, I think I'm gonna solder a dummy in there, just for consistent, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna solder the main seam here, and then heat it up. You might see some rainbowing going on. As it cools, it might turn purple and blue. But let's go ahead and do that. I have my buckets of water on hand, just in case. Let me adjust that a little bit. Okay, let's do it. Okay, memory of my phone got full. I had to delete a bunch of crud. But yeah, last minute decision. I think I'm gonna start with this folded over so that wraps over top, and I kind of filed that edge so there isn't such a hard item under that. I could, kind of hammer it around afterwards without having a sharp corner ghost of this appearing on top, but I'm gonna keep working at it. I'm going to point out I'm using these flat headed copper screws for underneath seams so I don't have such a dome, and they're flat. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm seeing down here. And remember, I know I'm repeating myself, but this gets a trim edge, a drip edge. It'll make this all uniform. And it'll kind of terminate here, and then this all gets tacked down, similar to that, with a slight little flare, like a drip edge, all the way across the back. But you can see kind of where I'm focusing more on this area right now. And copper moves around a lot when you heat it up, so I'm going to use these little guys, kind of clamp it. And I use these for guitar wiring, soldering, and they don't soak up so much of the heat. But copper, you know, you can take a strip of copper and put a torch to it and it'll move around like a cat's tail watching a squirrel out the window. So I might try to fit another one up there. So I'm going to go ahead and solder this in. I feel that has I might hammer it a little more until I'm really happy with it. I just want a nice little termination there, that roof line. Okay, so I just learned my phone didn't pick up this whole process of doing this. So I'm gonna have to go back to the videos and see what's missing. But I'm gonna see if it'll record. I'm gonna grind some of this down, polish it, and attach that to one another with a backing piece. Okay, I gotta have a quick once over with vinegar, so it's smelling like Easter Bunny piss at the moment, but yeah, just a real quick once over. Now, it didn't record that video. I might have to do today's video in 2 parts, and I was gonna actually watch the video, see how I did that exactly, and do this side the same, but I pretty much got it down. And then I have to bring another tab down here. This is what I've been doing under these seams. That's already got flux all in there, and it goes underneath these two. This one wraps around. Well, let's jump up top. Yeah, these wrap around. I'll add another one. This is scrap pieces you see laying around here. And anyhow, that bugger is sealed. And I'm kind of happy with that roof line. Let's jump back down and take a look at that. Oh, and I am going to do, it's going to gradually come out, and this is going to be a tiny little drip edge, little fold up with this, so all this waviness will be gone. And I actually made a pencil line for this one because I want it to, if it bends, be consistent all the way across. Everything else I just free-handed. I'm not measuring all that out. But anyhow, here's our roof line. It's not so bad. Kind of like that. Yeah, it's different. Okay, this is a tall truck. This is my eye level. I'm 6'2", so this is like what I'm seeing from eye level. Onward we go. Visitors, oh boy.
Wow, that is an old one.
Yeah, we're working on this part because she pulls to the left when you get up over 110.
Yeah, that isn't very good. No, it's not.
Bored and they, banged on it. I don't know,
Dog-a-doodle.
that's just one theory. It could be.
Or another thing is, it always swerves to the left. So then somebody thinks, oh yikes, I'm swerving to the left, turns hard to the right, and gets smashed.